Okay, so yesterday I fitted the reverse camera that I bought off eBay for £22 including delivery onto my wife's Prius. Yesterday it was pitch black when I finished, well nearly finished as I am now, pouring with rain as it probably is now if you can still tell, but also I was doing so much swearing yesterday that probably a video would have been a bad idea. So we're going to start from the boot where you can see obviously the number plate's off at the moment, but if you look there, there's the actual camera. Really nice neat little camera. On the Prius, would I say that's the best location? I think it looks the best. It could do to be somewhere where you can get a slightly better angle on it to see a little bit lower down, but other than that it's fine. And what I've done is I've taken the cable through the back of the number plate holder and up. There's actually on the Prius a little tiny plastic bit there that if you push hard you can pop a little bit and it can go nicely into that corner. So that's the only place on the car where the cable is visible. Because I didn't get to finish yesterday, the boot still has cables etc running around it. So now bear in mind we're in the boot. What we've done is we've come in there through the back of the boot, so that's the little hole that I've had to drill. The cable goes up, goes all the way down there through there, and then you can see I've taped it here along. That's where I've had to extend it because the cable that comes with it is nowhere near long enough to reach down to the reverse lights. I've taken it down, I've gone through that grommet. When I was doing that I've noticed there's a slight split in the grommet, so I've just put a bit of tape on it to repair it for now. And then it's disappeared and the cable is now inside the lining all the way around. So the cable for the number plate ran all the way down, sorry, number plate, reverse lights ran all the way down there, comes out of there, and currently is just shoved in the boot holder as a test. I'm about to cable that up now, that's why I'm back out in the rain. The cable to take it up to the mirror, to link the reverse camera to the mirror, you can't see at all, is all the way up in there, underneath there, all the way along, again, all the way along. I know this is a horrendous video because I'm trying to do it with an umbrella at the same time. And down, careful taking this pillar off here because it is the one, you know, there is a curtain airbag up here. It runs all the way along, it's tucked up under there where again you can't see, comes out the top there and into the top of the mirror. Now that on the screen at the moment you can see there, because the boot's in the air, that's coming out of the rear of the camera. I've got the rear camera on primary and the front camera on secondary at the moment. I'm going to just stop the video there for a second while I do a few more bits and pieces. So, you know, down here, look, you can see this cable is the cable going into a cigarette lighter just to check everything's working. So I'm going to do some proper cabling now and then I'll do another video. Now, because it's pouring down with rain, I'm actually sat in my boot. There you go, got a nice canopy over me. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this wire from being shoved in the bulb holder to make it work when you put it in reverse, and we're going to actually splice it into that red and blue wire there on the bulb holder to get a permanent signal from the reverse. So I'm just going to do that now. I mean, it's really not rocket science. I'm just going to use one of these little clips, these little red ones here that splice in, and I'll show you it finished in a second. So there we go, there's the finished article tucked up in there. You can see there's some red insulation tape on there. You don't really need it massively with those type of clips, but I prefer to be safe rather than sorry, and it holds the cables together nicely there. You can see the single solo red wire going off to the left there and up into the wherever. That's the cable in question. That's all tested, so now we'll go to the front of the car and finish doing the cabling there. Now I'm about to start in the front. What we've got at the moment is I've got the cable has come all the way down the opposite route really, so the power cable, which is the one on the left of those two plugged into the top up there, this is the cable that goes to the rear of the car. This is the power cable for the device, again up there, down there, removes the seal, down all the way, and it's coming out here, look, in my hand, and at the moment, and it has your standard 12-volt socket finish on it. Now, and it with a nice indicator light, I have no desire to start chopping that off and try and wiring it in and worrying about amps and volts and watts, etc. Now I know it's, you know, it tells me all there, look, so it's you know, 8 to 24 volt, 5 volt output, 2.5 amp. I'm not convinced I can find that easily on the car. What I am convinced I can do is wiring this. So it's essentially a very cheap cigarette socket, or a 12 volt socket. It just needs a positive and negative on the other end. Oh, excuse me, sorry, there. So I'm now going to find the ignition live, wire this in underneath the dashboard, tape it up out the way, and plug the camera straight into that. So once I've got a bit closer to completing that, I will do another quick video. Just to add lovely English weather outside, you'll see I'm doing this currently with the vehicle running. Obviously before I chop into any wires, I'll turn the ignition off, but at the moment it's freezing, it's cold, it's wet, and yes, I know I've got some errors on the dashboard there. I'll explain those later. Thanks. Okay, so that ended up being a bit more of a mission than anticipated, to find a suitable 12 volt that I knew I could splice into without causing any issues. So what I decided to do was take it from the actual sig lighter, so under there, under the big console that's usually there, which is currently sat on my back seat. I also found some really pretty clean panels, so I'm going to deal with that while I'm at it. So I've spliced it off there. The reason it took even longer than anticipated is because I've also decided whilst at it, so I've actually, you'll see there's a spare cable here running into the back. I'm going to fit a 12 volt socket in the back for the little one to play with. So I've run the cables under the carpet there, made sure I've gone around this piece, which is obviously part of where the thing fastens onto, and avoided anything even close to that because it says caution on it. Cables then under the carpet here, coming out down there, you'll see it, and there's actually, if you ever tap under your carpet down there, you'll see there's a massive empty void. So for ease of getting at, and because it's quite a chunky item, I've actually put it there under that carpet, ran the cables round the back of the carpet, and as I say, you can't even see them, they're going up into the thing and up there where I showed previously. So that's now all working. That's on the ignition, so that's the camera at the rear. That's split screen. I'll do a better video of it all later because I've just realised I'm in landscape and that's not the best solution. So as I mentioned, I've decided to also fit some 12 volt power in the back for the kids, for their tablets. Both the kids' tablets charge from USB, so I've gone with a dual USB item. You can see it just tucked away nicely down there. In all honesty, if it was grey, it'd almost look factory fit, especially if I could have found a way to recess it instead of surface mount. So it's installed just in the rear of this centre console, which just pops off. It's not difficult to do. He says one-handed it may be a bit more difficult. There we go. It's just installed in down there, and yeah, it's all in, working, just the right size for the job, and looking great. It's just got a little cover on it like that, which literally touches the floor. I mean, it's there, and you've got a couple. I know it's only a 1 amp and a 2.1, but for the kids' little tablets, for the amount they'll need it, that'll be absolutely fine. Alright, thanks, bye. Okay, so here's the full sort of walk around video of the finished product. So yesterday evening, probably 3 o'clock, yesterday afternoon rather, I started installing the camera that I bought off eBay. So this is one of those reverse camera with dashboard cam, all built into a mirror. Paid £22 including delivery, so I wasn't expecting much, I've got to be honest. So come to the back of the vehicle, there's the main advantage, the main bit you want is the old reversing camera there. So that's nicely wired in up through the back of the thing, and you can just see the cable going up into the car there. If I open the boot, I have to open the car first. So you can't see anything in there, so the cable's obviously behind there. I've run them, sorry it's very dark with me aiming towards the sun. I've ran them down, oh that black cowling, there you go, you saw it then. Black cowling there, through that there, which was already ripped, so I've put some duct tape on it for now to stop it through, into the roof lining, and then you run a red cable down, which I had to extend because it was no really long enough. It comes all the way down there, it goes through and inside there into your reversing light, and then your main cable to link it to the rest of the vehicle goes along the side of the car under the roof lining, as I mentioned earlier. So it comes all the way under there, you can't tell. Goes round the back carefully of the curtain airbag and across the top up there, and there it is. It's just that one there going into the thing. The second cable that you can see here, so that's the one that goes to the rear camera. This is your power, again up across there all the way down there, and this one comes down. I've got it underneath behind the carpet and into a cigarette lighter socket that I've wired behind in the very far corner there where there's a lot of space. That cigarette lighter socket I've wired from the original cigarette lighter socket here under the centre console, and while doing that I also installed, which I've put a video of earlier, the 12 volt power down there for the kids. So I'm going to start the car now, and we can see, close that, stop the annoying beeping. We can see what sort of quality you get up there. So there you go. Oh, that's me shaking, not the camera. So that's the default mode that I've got it set in at the moment. That's now started recording. So if I zoom in on that, you can see this is the wife's car I'm sat in. That's my car there in front, nice and clear. In fact, all those bits you see, you can tell they're actual reflections, and that's, if I zoom right in on that, that's what you can currently see through the rear camera. So this is front and rear dash cam plus thingy. So it's just recording at the moment. I'll just stop that recording. You've got the ability to cycle through those, so that swaps it around. So now it's a big one of the rear and the little one in there. We can go half and half. The problem with half and half, so half and half looks fine out the back, but at the front you can see that's the most squashed Prius you've ever seen in your life. So it squishes things a bit, but still crystal clear. And then you can have it with nothing else on the screen at all, so you get a really nice clear picture. So that's my default one that I have it set to. And I would say I think that if you didn't know you were looking through the camera, you know, I think that's pretty good going, really. That's and it's pretty wide angle as well. So if I try, you're not going to get the same focus unfortunately, but you can see the fence post there is the same fence post you're picking up there, so it's got as wider angle as my phone, if not slightly more, aiming at the same place. Because I can see the back of my Prius on there, and yet I'm having to pan to see the back of the Prius there. Okay, I hope that gives you an idea of the quality. I'll just put it in reverse and show you what you get then. So the car knows you're in reverse. Sorry, annoying Prius beeping there. And as you can see, it goes to a full screen reverse like that. Just put it in reverse. So what you get in reverse is a full screen display, and it's got those grid lines on. What I'm going to do is put something where that purple line is and give a quick measure so I know what that distance is. I'm not sure, and the Chinese instructions aren't the easiest to understand, but again, nice and clear and comfortably see what's going on. It doesn't turn with the wheel, but then, in all honesty, I wouldn't expect it to. How would it know the wheel was turning? Alright, and that's what you get really. So I'll just put it back in park. I mean, it's instant as well. It really quite quick. You've got all the video playback on here, so if I go into the... So just why that turned off on me twice is because it was in a setting that had auto power off, which I didn't quite understand. But anyway, so going into the settings, so you've got all the playback options here: photo playback, video playback, and settings. Got quite a few settings, still need to learn what they all do and have a good play with those. There's a few more lower down as well. But just to show you the playback, so obviously it's going to show you again what we were just watching. That's the video that it just made of my car. I mean, obviously I'm not moving unfortunately, but I'll just delete that one. There we go, no more to delete. Okay, so I know I am no professional videoer, but I hope that gives you an idea of what it can do. Cheers.